I'm inside and I saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. It is directed by Michael Pressman, and I have a special guest with us today. Who are you?
What? Let me tell you something, brother. My name is Charles Kahn. I am the Masked Bastard. I am one of the #1 Ninja Turtle fans in the world. There's Michelle Ivy, there's that guy in Japan, and then there's yours truly, baby. The Masked Bastard, Charles Kahn himself, the Lord of the Memes, the Meme Bastard, everybody's least favorite Ninja Turtle, me, Charles Kahn.
Oh my goodness, I am very not knowledgeable at all on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so we got exact opposites here. Okay, first of all, you recommended that you wanted to review Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Why is that? Why do you like it so much?
When I think of fun motion pictures, I think of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. There are few films as comical and silly and as goofy that maintain that tone throughout the film as expertly as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze. In the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, there was a more serious tone. They managed to pull from the comic books a little better. It was they took the best of the comic books, which were a little darker and grimmer. They were a parody of Daredevil comic books. So everything in there was a spoof of that. And it was just two guys just goofing off in their living room one night and come up with the Ninja Turtles. Those two guys managed to sell that in, it became a mass media franchise. So the movie comes out 1990. The cartoon hits 87.
All right.
It becomes a phenomenon. 1990, they're able to turn that movie around very quickly. And then 18 months later, a little picture called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze comes out. And it is, I wouldn't say the tone is perfect, because I really like that the more serious tone of the first one. I feel like there's more story. There's more going on in the first one. And the second one leans a lot more into the comedy and the fun of the Ninja Turtles.
I agree with
that. But we
that.
don't go all the way into like bad kids movie like the third one. The third Ninja Turtles is where we get, that's burn the franchise bad.
Oh,
that's when we start to get into Three Ninjas at High Noon Mountain bad.
I have not seen that yet. Oh, geez. Okay, so I've completely forgot about what I said about the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I do have a review on it. If you are interested in hearing my thoughts, you should check that out. It's right here. It's up on the screen. You should definitely check that out. I do remember that movie being more serious than this one, though. So let's start with at the very beginning. And the very beginning has definitely got me, it kind of took me for a wild spin. Okay, so we have this good old boy. His name is Kino. He's delivering pizza. He's just a good old boy. And, oh no, he accidentally encounters some burgles. Somebody's committing a burgle, and luckily the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are there. I'm watching this scene, and I'm like, first of all, this is where the credits take place, where we see the part where we have the names coming off, like when they're kicking the names off the screen. Did you notice that part, Charles Kahn?
Yeah. Oh, of course I noticed that part. I noticed everything about it. The ninja antics, the silliness that the boys get into inside this. It's like a little shopping mall.
Yeah.
And everything that they can get into. Like they're at one point, Donatello's pushing a clown around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelangelo grabs sausages and beats a man using them as nunchucks. I guess they wanted to soften up the ninja weapons. Like you can't really stab a guy with ninja swords in the kids movie.
That's a little too over the line. I did enjoy how they found ridiculous ways to beat up bad guys, which is very much a highlight of this movie for me, is the beginning. But then we have the Ninja Turtles like, oh well, we gotta go rescue the delivery guy because there's some guys coming in. It's just be like, oh, hey, we gotta stop you from those burgles, okay? And I like how they tie up the burglars. You know, it seems
with a yo-yo.
Yeah, it seems very secure. Like the burglars won't escape at all. Like
No.
exactly.
Crime can be stopped with yo-yos. That's what happened in 1991. Yo-yos were stopping crimes everywhere in New York. It was a trend. The Guardian
Yeah.
Angels would get on to subway trains. That's the guys that wore the red berets and would beat up gang
Okay.
members. They were gang. They would get on
Ah.
trains in New York and walk down alleyways. They'd have their giant yo-yos just assault people with them.
Ew, that's
That's right.
fun. Oh man, now I want a yo-yo. I haven't owned a yo-yo in a while, but it seems like the turtles should own yo-yos. I think they should use that as their weapons instead of these sausages.
Interesting that you say that, because in Europe they're known as the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles,
Ah,
and Michelangelo was not allowed to have his nunchucks. He had, if you watch later seasons of the cartoon, there's a lot of him using grappling hooks.
okay.
Like he's got a very yo-yo-like grappling hook device, and that was why, because they did not want to have nunchucks because nunchucks were illegal.
That's
And for
cool.
whatever reason, the word ninja was upsetting to parents in the 90s. They're like, we can't have ninjas. What are you? They're assassins. Like, that's not fun. They kill people.
Man, no fun police over here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Got a
Also,
license for that ninja.
yeah. I would also say that Splinter's a no fun police in this movie.
Splinter gets some of the best lines. Splinter is a one-line machine.
Oh yeah, he's essentially like Obi-Wan in the prequels. To compare, I was like, Splinter, how are you so wise? You're a rat who learned kung fu karate. I forgot which exact martial arts form it was. But he's like just like wise machine over here. I wish that I had a Splinter in my life. Like if I had a pet rat, it would be Splinter. Would you want any of the turtles or Splinter as your pet?
I feel like I think there is a lot of pointing at the screen going, oh, that's literally me.
Yeah.
That's literally me right there.
Yeah.
It's not so much that I want to have the Ninja Turtles as friends or like be tight with them. It's like,
Okay.
oh, then no, that's literally me.
Okay.
I'm a party dude. That guy's a party dude. That's me.
That makes
That's
sense.
how it feels watching the Ninja Turtles at that point I would have been 5 years old. In 1992 or 1991 when this came out. This was
fun.
This was as hype as it gets.
That's fun.
This movie was so huge. I don't think you understand. Once Vanilla Ice shows up, it escalated what the movie was. Like I don't think people appreciate just how popular that sumbitch was in his day. Like I'm sure it's like this goofy weird song that shows up now where they start singing "Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go." But in 1991, that song was a huge. It was like a #1 hit. Couldn't get away from Ice Ice Baby, and then here he is in the Ninja Turtles. Shows up, the most popular dude, and he's dancing with the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
and they're having a good time.
Yeah,
like that is
super fun.
That's as hot as a movie gets. That's as hot as a property can get. It was white hot. They didn't wait around. They didn't fart around for 10, 15 years. It's like, no, this is hot now. We've got to crank these movies out while we've got the chance.
I really appreciate that of them.
For an 18-month, development cycle on a movie, this thing turned out fantastic for what it is. They start getting into the origins of the Ninja Turtles with this the mutagen.
Yeah.
Where they've got that's the secret of the Ooze is
that's what it's called, the mutagen?
Mutagen, yeah, that's what they call it in the comic books, mutagen.
Okay.
Ooh.
I just I know it as Ooze because they like to reference it in the Ooze. They like to reference Ooze a lot. I like how much ooze there is in the world. It makes me
There's a lot of ooze floating around.
Why is there so much ooze? Stop with the ooze production. You don't need any more weird anthropomorphic animals just turning into beasts. Like, oh man.
Well, in 1991, Nickelodeon was really starting to get hot. The Nicktoons had just come out. Sliming was starting to become a huge thing.
I've never understood
Ooze
that.
was everywhere.
Ew, I hate Ooze. Man, growing up, seeing Nickelodeon Ooze, I was like, what's the point of that? I hate that. Stop oozing all over the place. But this movie, with the time period, it makes sense that there's Ooze. They literally come from Ooze, so it makes sense within their story. April O'Neil, speaking of Ooze, is like, hey, I'm gonna go investigate some ooze, and some dandelions are getting oozed. And I'm like, first of all,
Some big dandelions that April O'Neil finds. There's some big dandelions floating
yeah,
around.
they're massive. Do you know the health benefits of dandelions?
No, what can a dandelion do for Charles?
Don't you know that dandelions are highly nutritious, loaded with vitamins, minerals, and fiber? Don't you know that having that big dandelion is actually doing really good service to humanity, sharing the greatness of dandelions everywhere?
I know that I appreciate a big set of dandelions. That's something that I'm well known for. I love big dandelions.
Also, dandelion greens provide a substantial amount of several minerals, including iron, calcium, magnesium, and potassium. Don't you know that?
Potassium, they got potassium. There's a
They,
lot of fiber in potassium.
yeah, they got a lot of that. It's also rich in the carbohydrate aluminum, a type of soluble fiber found in plants that supports the growth and maintenance of healthy gut bacteria in your digestive tract.
Oh,
All these health benefits. Dandelions are great. Man, I love big dandelions. More dandelions, big, please.
You know that tricks are for kids, right?
I don't care. I like tricks. I'm gonna do as many tricks as I can, including the ooze. I'm gonna throw this ooze everywhere. Just like all the ooze is everywhere. Man, this movie is wild.
Okay, so the Ninja Turtles end up going to the science lab,
Yes.
and that's where they meet one of the greatest characters. Donatello does that hand crack thing that looks like so painful hearing those bones crack, like right before
Ugh,
he
I
gets ready to
hated that
fight.
noise.
Oh yeah, it's such a great that has been 30 years. That bone breaking noise has stuck with me. The
Stuck with me
characters that
too.
they meet the Foot Clan there. There's that bald headed dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, what was his name? He had a crazy name. It wasn't Tonto. What was his name?
Ah.
But he has the greatest line. He says, "Ninja, vanish!" and he throws the smoke ball down. And like they're all coughing, and then like Batman, then it just disappear.
Dang, I didn't write his name down. Dang. But
Was
that
it
was
Toshi? What was that guy's name? He
uh
ended up being Tatsu. That was his name.
Tatsu.
I believe it was Tatsu. He ends up showing up in one of the Ninja Turtle games, the
Okay.
Hyperstone Heist. He was a bad guy in that one. Let's see. I'm gonna fact check myself and make sure I've got his name right.
All right.
Tatsu. There it is. I remembered.
Tatsu. Oh my goodness, man. I don't like Tatsu. He seems a little bit shady of a guy.
He's a great what they call a dragon in a movie. He's the guy who does all of the Shredder's dirty work. He's
Okay.
his right hand man. He gets all the stuff done, but he's a jobber at the end of the day. He's not really as threatening or menacing as he seems at first.
Okay.
He's that character. He's like the transitional character. He's the heater for the Shredder. You
Yeah.
know, the Foot Clan ninjas are trying to revive their master. In the comic books, have you heard how they revive Shredder in the comic books?
I have not. I don't know much about the comic books actually.
Okay, so in the comic books, they kill the Shredder in the same way that they did in the first movie. They knock him off the roof, but there's like a white phosphorus grenade that they blow him up with.
All
So
right.
he's very much super duper totally dead. So the Foot Clan use ninja magic and worms to regrow the Shredder.
Ew.
Yes, worms. They bring him back with worms.
What nutrients do worms have? Use a dandelion.
Oh, there's a lot of nutrients a worm would get.
Ew.
They regrow, and there's several like shredders that they regrow that don't come out right, including one that was
Yeah.
super big and like muscular, and I think he had 4 arms in the comic, but he
Hmm.
looks very super shredder-esque.
All right.
Like we'll get there in the movie, but it's very clear like, oh, They definitely saw that guy and were like, we got to have him in the movie somewhere.
You know, I'm glad that they chose him. It was a good choice.
Do you know who played the Super Shredder in the Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze?
Who played Shredder?
Yeah. Who
No.
was the actor in, not Shredder, Super Shredder?
Super
It was
Shredder.
at the time he was a WCW wrestler, Kevin Nash.
Okay. Yeah,
He
that's
played
cool.
Diesel in WWF after this. He was this big wrestling guy. Later on, he played the Russian in the Punisher movie. He's
Okay.
been in a ton of movies, this guy. He was in the Magic Mike movies.
Okay, I have not
He's a
seen
very
any of those.
well-known professional wrestler. Well, put him on the list. Add him to the list.
Yeah.
And keep an eye out for Kevin Big Sexy Nash.
Kevin Big Sexy Nash.
Yes, that's what he would want to be called, was Big Sexy.
I will be respectful to his identity then.
Yes.
All right. Also, I find the amount of yoinking people in this movie.
A lot of yoinking.
There's a
There's
lot
a
of,
lot of yoinking.
hey, we're gonna yoink you from your April's place. Oh, we're going to yoink. Oh, now we're going to try to trick. We're gonna try to trick y'all to get into your place. There's a lot of trickery. There's a lot of yoinking. You know, I don't think I'm not comfortable with the amount of crimes committed in this movie.
Yeah, who would have ever thought that ninjas would be bad people, other than the Europeans who didn't like the word ninja?
That's probably why they didn't let them in. Ah, dang it. They knew more than we did. Ah, man, who would have ever known? Also, who would have ever known that having massive amounts of ooze creates more monsters? And it's kind of sad, the fate of the guys who get ooze. Like, I feel really bad for them. Like, we have these monsters who shouldn't really exist and they're abominations, but it's just they're probably suffering. Like, they have as much intelligence as a child, so they have to essentially now learn how to live. And the
babies.
Yeah.
They're babies.
They're babies, actually. They're not children, they're babies, they're infants.
Okay, I love the Ninja Vanish line, but I think maybe the legacy of this movie is, so the Foot Clan are able to revive the Shredder. They bring him back to life, and he gets the mutagen, the ooze. They take a snapping turtle and some kind of wolf pup or something, and they create Toka and Razor.
I would have pet that wolf.
Babies. They're babies. They're like puppies and like a little baby turtle. and the scientist guy's like, well, you know, like, you can't just kill them. They might have their uses. They go out and they flip over a car and start yelling. And
they're angry babies. I'm just like, it's going to be hard to control a baby. You have to, like, teach a baby, like, oh man, I don't think these scientists were necessarily thinking out their plan with creating, like, oh, we gotta ooze these dudes up. But, like, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have been around for years, many years. They're teenagers now, so they've been learning, they're prepared. Like, I don't necessarily.
They got their learner's permits.
Yes, exactly. They can maybe they can drive a car. I don't know if they're there yet, but I prefer the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles over these wolf mutants because honestly, I think eating pizza with guys would be cooler than petting a potentially vicious wolf, and I would want to pet that wolf. And so it would bite me. What do you think? Would you want to pet that wolf?
That wolf looks very angry. He's got a very permanent snarl on his face. And they're always snarling, and they're always dripping some kind of like a slobber, or that nasty dog slobber.
Yeah.
You know, like when a dog brings a ball over to you.
Yeah,
put it
that's
down
gross.
in front of you and looks up at you, and you pick it up, and it's just the slimiest, like, ugh.
Yeah,
like that kind of slime.
Yes, exactly. I wouldn't want to play with that dog if it fetched me a human arm with the slobber all over. I'm like, no, get away. Exactly. Also, speaking of get away, we have Leonardo and Raphael, and I'm totally on Raphael's side, by the way, in this argument. But Raphael was like, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna be alone. And I'm just like, dude, there's people out there coming for you. Please stay together. And it's like a horror movie experience at this point. And I'm like screaming at the screen, like, stay together. And they don't stay together. And wow, guess what happens when they don't stay together? They get yoinked.
A lot of yoinking going on. He gets captured. The Ninja Turtles have to go rescue him.
Yeah.
They have to pull off the duct tape, which doesn't feel good.
No.
Everybody that has the duct tape on the mouth, it always feels bad. It always hurts them.
I've never had. Well, actually,
You've never been duct taped?
I've been duct taped. It doesn't hurt that much. It depends. If I have like hair connected to the duct tape, then yeah, that hurts. But if it's on my skin,
see, these guys, you don't
not
understand.
really.
The Ninja Turtles are teenagers, like we just said. They've got a little bit of it, like peach fuzz on their face, and so when that rips off, it pulls their whole lip hair off.
You know, like I've tried to shave it that way. I've tried to shave that way, just putting duct tape on my on like any part of my body that needs hair removal, and it's like it doesn't work. Like it doesn't work.
40-year-old virgin.
It doesn't work. It doesn't remove the hair. Like it hurts. Like what part does the duct tape remove? Why does it hurt so much?
It's probably the epidermis, the upper layer of skin.
Well, if you know for sure, if you're a doctor, leave a comment. Type it away.
Have you or someone you've known ever had their lips ripped off and made to kiss someone's ass using duct tape? Tell us.
Please let us know. Alright, what's the next part? Let's see.
So the next part, the Ninja Turtles chase the bad guys. They go to that nightclub where they meet Tokan Razor.
That was fun. I wish there wasn't as many people there. To be
I think there
collateral damage.
Being a ton of people makes it cool. It's like a Hitman, the video games mission, where there's just tons and tons of people, and in walks the Ninja Turtles, who are party dudes, so of course they're gonna have a good time at this Vanilla Ice concert.
It's like Terminator 2. Like, honestly, watching this movie, them being in the nightclub, I'm like, oh, are they going to get caught? It's kind of like, I don't know, not Terminator 2, the first Terminator. The first Terminator, where he's like trying to get Sarah Connor, like, within that nightclub. And it's like, oh, we gotta protect Sarah Connor. And I got that same exact vibe. Although, what this movie does better than Terminator is, the Vanilla Ice concert. There's no Vanilla Ice concert in Terminator. And this makes this movie so much infinitely better.
Like, Vanilla Ice, I just can't keep saying it enough. Like, he had, maybe even more so than the Ninja Turtles. There was like a 2 or 3 year period.
Yeah.
Where he was, the hottest, like, act ever. Like, he burned so bright. That album did so well. It was him and MC Hammer. They were the guys. And then, for whatever reason, both of them have just... It's over, buddy. It's done.
Yeah.
Like, we're done.
He burned so hot, but he was ice cold. Yes.
He was Vanilla Ice.
Ha, got him. Joke. Haha, funny joke.
Made a funny.
Also, what's hilariously funny is when Shredder turns into Super Shredder, and he's so big.
So they defeat the bad guys with, the scientist guy tells them, well, why don't we just, like, cool these guys down with, they've got some kind of food that they're trying to feed them.
Yeah.
And the guys just, the monsters just completely reject it.
Yeah!
And they figure out that they can use a fire extinguisher.
It was a donut. They were trying to give him donuts.
Donuts.
I would never accept a donut either. I've had too many donuts in my day, in too many free donuts that suck terrible. Most donuts suck, by the way. So
special donuts.
I would not accept those donuts. I completely agree with those guys. Oh, they're also like being super obvious. Like, oh, hey, well, aren't you hungry? Aren't you sure you're not hungry? And it's like, well, at this point, I'm assuming there's something in those donuts. I'm not taking those donuts.
It's a good lesson for kids to learn watching at home. Don't accept donuts from older teenagers. They always have ulterior motives. They've laced the donuts.
Exactly. And it's not fun. They've sugar is good, but anything else laced in it, I don't know actually. I don't know what you could lace donuts with.
Oh, there's a lot of guys lacing donuts with a lot of substances, chemicals and nature-based, all sorts of things.
Well, I'll have those donuts. Also, speaking of things that are too big and will get people fat, Super Shredder is so big that the doc, like whatever he's on, I forget what he's on, but like
It's
stuff
like a
is
pier.
it's a
Yeah,
pier, okay. So he's at a
I guess you
pier,
could call it.
and he's like it's collapsing onto
Just
him.
starts smashing everything, trying. He's just such a like Incredible Hulk rage now that he's turned into the Super Shredder.
I'm like, dude, you gotta contain yourself. This is also a good lesson for children to learn. Is like, hey, maybe you shouldn't like rampage once you're angry, because you're just gonna cause the world around you to collapse, and then you're dead. Oh man, preventable death, but he died. What a dummy.
Oh, he's gotten better from death in the past.
I guess that's true.
And there's a lot of people dying these days that come back. They don't have to use worm ninja magic. Like sometimes they just use ooze.
I guess it's true. I guess that's true. You know what's also what should be under ninja magic but isn't, which is makes me so sad. The Ninja Turtles being published in the front page of a newspaper. They should have the ability to erase their identity and anyone knowing them just like that. I feel like Splinter would really like that. But
Eventually, in the comics and the cartoons, they get there where it's
okay.
like, they're sort of like sneaking around, like, oh man, like Ninja Turtles, like rumors of these guys, and then eventually it's like, well, yeah, they're not only are we in the world, but there's a whole bunch of other monsters from other dimensions and like other
Okay.
mutants. They get there to where the cartoons are referred to as the Red Sky period because there's a
Okay.
a red sky in the cartoons, and they kind of updated the look of the turtles a little bit, made them a little like edgier looking,
Cool.
and the world just knows about monsters. There are monsters everywhere.
That sounds pretty
It was,
epic actually.
they were trying. They tried.
They
I
tried.
I might prefer the jokier fun of these Ninja Turtles skulking around. Sometimes they would wear the trench coats and the big fedora hats and try to slip around.
All right.
That kind of stuff. That's there's something fun to me about the Ninja Turtles trying desperately to live in people's society. Like when
Hmm.
they order pizzas, they have to do it in weird ways.
Right. That's always fun. It's like I like three turtles in a trench coat with a hat and a fedora trick just sitting on top of each other. Like there's so many ways
When
they could get a pizza.
Yeah.
I like how inventive. I like how many ways there could be. Like many are there many ways they get a pizza in like other in the other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies? Like
Usually they'll order it. There's a lot of like them standing around going, "Pizza guy's got 30 minutes or it's free." Because that was the thing with Domino's is
yeah.
if they wasn't there in 30 minutes, it would be free, which is caused a lot of deaths, like people
yeah.
hauling ass to deliver pizzas.
yeah.
But
I
that was the style at the time. The Ninja Turtles went with it. They would eat Ninja pizza, which is pizza consumed very quickly.
all
They
right.
the Ninja Turtles are defined by their teenage attitudes, their love of pizza, and their violent ninja weapons. Like
All
they
right.
will put an ass whooping on some guys. Like that's what the Ninja Turtles should be known for.
Okay.
The one-liners and fun that they have throughout the movie. I think there's a lot more of that in the second one. The second one, I feel like it played a lot on TV when I was a kid, so we watched it all the time. But the
Okay. Yeah, I
first
never
one,
saw it.
first one, definitely a better movie. Like
Okay.
if I was, gonna put on my if I was gonna skin Roger Ebert's mask and put it on and be that guy and be Mr. Serious Critic,
Yeah.
I could sit down and say the first Ninja Turtles was a well-crafted story about these guys like trying to come into their own. There's a little bit of an arc to some of their characters, like Michelangelo trying to grow up a little bit
Yeah.
and listening to what their father was telling them about the days when he won't be there. Like there's some drama there.
Right.
All the
Yeah.
stuff where they go out to the farm when they're like trying to get away from the ninjas. Like there's good hard drama there. And then in the second one, they're beating up guys with ninjas with yo-yos, and
It's a big tone
they're
shift for sure.
they go to a Vanilla Ice concert and get on stage with Vanilla Ice and start dancing. Go ninja, go ninja, go, 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 go,
Man,
go.
2 is
Like that
just
is
like so hype compared to the first
yes.
one. Yeah.
It's a bigger movie. I don't think the special effects look as good as that first movie's. I think
I agree with
there's
that.
some weird scenes in the first one where you can see like the guy in the suit, like there's a scene of one of the turtles laughing. I think it was Donatello, and you can see like inside his mouth. You can see the little guy in there, like his eyes, and it's very like off-putting and scary.
Oh, geez. I honestly didn't catch that. That seems terrifying.
Yes,
How many times have you watched this movie?
a lot.
A
I've
lot.
seen this movie. I've seen this movie a lot of times, and I think there's going to be a lot more watches of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze in my life
That's
going
fun.
forward. I feel like this is the kind of movie that if nobody had seen the Turtles and had no idea what it was,
Yeah.
I might put on 2 over 1 just because it's so corny and silly.
Yeah, I do like the corniness factor in this movie.
Yeah,
Like, I feel
it's
like
the right
it's
level of
endearing.
camp. It's
Yeah.
campy. I don't know if you've ever seen the Adam West 1960s Batman.
I think the earliest. I don't think I've seen that Batman. Maybe.
That
I'm not
Batman
sure.
goes for it's not a serious dark tone at all. They're going for like just sheer fun and camp and over the top. And that's what this movie does. All the characters go real big. There's Tatsu, the bad guy, that scientist dude.
Yeah.
There's you've got the Shredder. Shredder's got a great part.
Yeah.
The two monsters. They changed April O'Neil's for this movie. I don't feel like she was as good as the first one.
I did notice that, and I agree with that assessment there. I also do
She,
agree that I do agree that the overtopness of this movie's characters is very defining of this movie, and
Mhm, mhm.
if there is any more seriousness or campiness added to this movie, it definitely would have made it a worse movie. But because of how all the characters are so over the top, it makes this movie, and you know exactly what to expect from the movie at the very
Yeah,
beginning, and you know exactly what to expect throughout the rest of the movie, and then when we get to the Vanilla Ice part, it's like, what is all of this?
yeah. We hit this like it hits a real like peak, like a real climax, a real crescendo
Yeah,
of just man. This thing is 1991, the movie. Like it
exactly.
just captures the whole like vibe, and it's a fun motion picture, and I feel like I could watch it 1,000 times and just never get tired of it. It's always going to be fun. Ninja
Yeah.
Turtles 3, I don't know if I ever need to see again because it just sunk the whole franchise.
Oh geez, I
Like
don't know if I'm excited for Ninja Turtles 3.
they retitled it to Turtles in Time at some point because it's
Oh.
it's a time travel movie. It's like the Star Trek, the one with the whales, where they have to go back in time, and there's a lot of farting around
Hmm.
that isn't really like Ninja Turtle fun. Like had they done fun stuff like, oh, the Ninja Turtles invent pizza, they could have done some fun stuff like that, but they just didn't.
Weird.
The villain's not as strong. There's no rubber suit monsters for them to fight. The turtles don't look as good in this one. There's a couple of good heroic scenes, and when you see them, you'll know exactly the scene I'm talking about. Where I go, okay, yeah, this is a good heroic scene for the Ninja Turtles. This feels like very comic book, very good.
All right.
But overall, I feel like it's a bummer movie. It's just not good. Like it just doesn't.
And that's about the
They were.
third one.
That's the third one.
Okay.
Third one was trying to be silly and fun, and they just didn't. They just couldn't hit it. They just didn't hit
Right.
it right.
So, what would you rate this movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze?
I feel like Turtles 1 definitely a 5 out of 5 movie. I feel like it hits
Okay.
everything a movie needs to hit. Turtles 2, I feel like it's still a crowd pleasing movie. Like if I was an adult and went to see this movie with a bunch of kids in 1991,
Yeah.
I could still laugh along with the kids and be like, "Oh, that's silly. That's fun." Whereas Ninja Turtles 3, it's like, this feels like a bad kids movie. But
Okay.
Ninja Turtles 2 still there's enough wackiness and enough silliness. And the Ninja Turtles is still a cool concept in 1991. Vanilla Ice was still cool. Like there was a time when Vanilla Ice was cool. When
That
he was cool.
I remember hearing Vanilla Ice after he was cool. That's how
Yes, Vanilla
hipster I
Ice
am.
Vanilla Ice after he's cool. Which if I met Vanilla Ice today, I would shake his hand and be like, "Man, you were so cool, man." Like you got a bum deal. Like you got done dirty. And I'd tell him I loved the Ninja Turtles. That's what I'd say because I love Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. Fantastic movie. Can't recommend it enough.
What
I
number rating
say
would you give it?
I'd say 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Okay.
Definitely a high tier movie. Very rewatchable. There's some, I feel like the pacing isn't as good as the first one. It lacked the drama. It didn't have. There's a certain like flow to that first movie that it just didn't have.
Yeah. You
I
said
would
all the
say
words that I
yes.
could ever say.
Yeah.
I would say them, but you're saying them, so.
Yeah. Words like verisimilitude and je ne sais quoi.
I know none of those words. I don't know what that means. I personally would give this movie a solid 6.9 out of 10.
Oh, it's 6.9 out of 10.
It's a nice movie. It's nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's why I give movies those ratings, the 6.9 movies. It's just like, it's nice. It's a nice movie. It's entertaining. Not as good as the first one in my opinion, but I do like the over the top wackiness. So
I'll tell you what I would say about this movie. If I'm in a hotel and I'm flipping channels on a TV and it's late at night and it's like, well, I can't sleep. What am I gonna do for 2 hours? And I happen across Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze, I would sit and watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Secret of the Ooze. That would be what I would do with that 2 hours if I'm flipping the channels around and happened upon it. It'd be one of those movies. It's a fun movie. It's a crowd pleasing movie.
I would definitely rewatch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Is there a tags place? Words don't exist. Is there a place like Twitter or Instagram or other places that you're at?
I'm everywhere. I am mask_bastard. You can find me on YouTube. I am youtube.com/CharlesCon. I got all sorts of Dungeons and Dragons videos up on my channel. It's a lot of goofy stuff. I've got a lot of fun stuff there. I post memes all day on Twitter and Instagram, that kind of stuff. Like I'm one of those meme guys.
Check out his memes.
I really like the Ninja Turtles. Like Ninja Turtles is my dudes. Like they're my guys.
That's cool.
Because they're just fun.
Yeah.
They're the epitome of, we're taking ourselves too seriously. We want to laugh and have a good time. And my guy was always the party guy. It was always Michelangelo.
My guy's Raphael.
Yeah, he's the loner. He's the cool emo one. He's the one that broods. He's a lot of brooding. Him in the rain, just standing by himself or yelling on a rooftop.
He's literally me character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas Michelangelo is literally me. He's a party dude. He's got multiple pizzas running through the house. Hey guys, party time. Let's go.
Oh man, what a great way to... I want some pizzas now, but you know what else I want you to do? I want you to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with everyone. You know, the ultimate goal of this channel is for me to become an expert movie reviewer, so if I haven't reviewed it on the channel, there's a chance I haven't even seen it at all. If you'd like to request a movie in the comments below, you can do that. Or you can fast track a movie review at patreon.com/ASEPresent. $20 a month for one movie review per 1 month, $30 a month how to draw a Pokemon tutorial, posted early and first on patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grindiness of all these daily movie reviews, you can go to this link tree to find the way you can help support the daily grind of all these daily movie reviews. So you can go here. And until next time, mint salad, I'll see you later, my salad crouton bacon bits.
Bye, guys.